Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Forget work, forget sleep, forget all of that. Today is a public holiday for us Arsenal fans. We are about to get a here we go for Viktor Gyökeres. Today is a holiday. We've waited for these days for what seems to be years and years and years. We are finally getting a striker, and the striker we are getting is Viktor Gyökeres. Oh, yes. Today is a holiday for all of us. Now, how real is it? Well, Viktor Gyökeres' agent has just landed in London to complete the deal. Oh, things you love to read, man. Things you love to see. Understand Gyökeres agents have landed in London to seal details of the deal with Arsenal. All set also for Victor to travel for medical as soon as details will be sorted. 63.5 million euros plus 10 million euros deal almost agreed, commission reduced as it has to be fixed today. So that is Fabrizio confirming that news. First of all, as soon as that agent to Gyökeres gets into that office, you need to welcome him with a cup of tea right away, with anything that he needs to eat it with anything. This guy's given up his own money to allow Gyökeres to join Arsenal. I've never had anything like that since I started supporting Arsenal. I've never even had it with any other team. Someone giving up his own money to allow his client to join the team. That is absolutely incredible. So I've never been such a fan of an agent before. We are just used to looking at the players and the managers and a few things here and there. But agencies, we know the names sometimes, but never really bother to know what is going on with the agents. This particular one, we're already big fans of him. And Viktor Gyökeres, the player, we are already big fans of him as well. He will be coming for the medical soon as well. That deal will be signed. The final details will be finalized in the next couple of hours. You're going to get the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and then we are now going to wait for how quickly Arsenal are going to do, the medical and all the other background stuff, and finally, when are they going to announce him? Are we going to have to wait a couple of more days before the announcement? Are they going to be announcing him before the weekend? Are they going to, let us wait for a little bit more as we wait for Gyökeres to finally get an Arsenal kit? All that. Listen, we just wait for that. Here we go. Here, the agents have landed. The player will land very, very soon, and the deal has already been agreed. That is all that matters, and we can finally move on from this. We've been asking for a striker for a long time, and we can finally move on from this. Now, Hand of Arsenal has also confirmed this about Viktor Gyökeres. He says in the let's read from the second paragraph. Medical being planned for Viktor Gyökeres. He was basically saying, the last 48 hours while Arsenal covertly worked to close the deal. He has been quiet, to be honest. So people are a bit worried about Gyökeres not joining Arsenal, but yeah, it's basically a done deal. Fabrizio himself said, the here we go, it's imminent for Viktor Gyökeres to Arsenal. It can come at any minute. Arsenal have started exchanging official emails with Sporting to complete the transfer. Remember this, when Gyökeres is at the Emirates Stadium with the Arsenal shirt in his hands, Gyökeres did everything possible to be an Arsenal player. He tried in every way to make it happen. Oh, believe me, Fabrizio, I will 100% remember that. I've been thinking about that straight since we heard that he's given up his own 2 million. I've been thinking like this player definitely wants to join Arsenal, and Hand of Arsenal also confirmed that it even shocked the members of Arsenal, the board and the coaching team. Like, this player really, really wants to join us, man. So even if Arsenal were thinking about not getting him, I think that was like the final push to try to get him. That is a player who 100% wanted to join you. There's a lot of things that could have happened. Gyökeres could easily have said he wanted to stay at Sporting for another season, wait for other options to come up, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, anyone else. Number two, he could easily have said, hey, I've worked with Amorim before. Let me go to Man United. The strikers haven't really been firing there. Let me go there, start play, be next to my former manager. Things would work out. Number three, he could even just have waited this particular transfer window to see how it goes. He didn't have to give up his own money to join Arsenal. There've been rumors about Chelsea coming in for him. There's been rumors about Liverpool potentially wanting him. He could easily have waited for all of those teams, but no, he said I want to join Arsenal. He's refused to go back to training. He could also have done that. He could just have gone to training with Sporting and waited to see what would have happened. But no, he said he does not want to go back to training. It's only Arsenal that he wants to join. He was pushing for the deal. We are hearing he talked to Mikel a couple of times. He was consistently texting and calling the president to try and get this deal done. Finally, the agent has agreed to give up his own money. Gyökeres himself has given up his own money for him to be allowed to join Arsenal. That is absolutely huge for us. it's great having a player who really wants to join you, and if the player is one that you really wanted as well, it really helps. This one as well, Gyökeres didn't have doubts even when Saudi clubs wanted to offer way higher salary. There you go as well. Saudi Arabia clubs wanted to give him more salary. You're only going to give him 200,000 per week. I say only, but you're 100% like becomes one of our highest paid players with that 200,000. Saudi Arabia clubs could have given him 400,000 or something, double that, because that player's been scoring a bunch of goals. They could easily have just said, "Hey, you deserve 400,000 a week. Come to our place, and you're going to get that." But he said, "No, it's only Arsenal I want to join." Absolutely fantastic. And then he also goes on to say, "Move set to be sealed today after 2 meetings on Sunday. Gyökeres agents reduced their commission to make the deal happen. Here we go soon." So I'm sure we're going to get that here we go in the next couple of hours. Maybe it's even as I'm recording this, it's going to be announced by Fabrizio. But this is pretty much here we go before the here we go. We can just give ourselves a here we go because this deal is pretty much done. They've arrived to finalize it with Arsenal, and the deal will definitely be done. Now, we've already talked about Gyökeres a lot since last night, and we've also talked about 4 deals happening this week. Now, which is the next deal that will happen after this? Now, Fabrizio has confirmed the latest on Noni Madueke. That one is also progressing. Noni Madueke has passed his Arsenal medical, and he will be announced very soon as an Arsenal player. Noni Madueke will sign his contract until June 2030 later today after final part of medical tests. So that is great as well. Madueke has passed his medical. That one has been done as well. Who will be announced first? Probably Madueke. Will they both be announced this week? Let's wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, we've discussed Madueke and Gyökeres a lot in the previous videos. Make sure to check that one out. Let's cover the players we haven't covered that much, and let's start with Mosquera. He's another one who might also end up joining us this week. Christian Mosquera is in a similar situation to Viktor Gyökeres. He told Valencia that he'll only go to Arsenal. Players are refusing to play for their team so that they can come to Arsenal. What have they been told? We needed just a few more pieces. And if these are the pieces we're going to get, players who are really good and they really want to play for Arsenal, we are that close. Our time is close. Valencia offered a new deal twice in recent weeks. No chance he's not extending. He wants to go to Arsenal. He wants to go now, not later, not tomorrow, not next week. He wants to go now. Let's wait for these conversations to continue between Valencia and Arsenal. Mosquera is expected to become a new Arsenal player in the next days as well. So Mosquera as well, he's going to be an Arsenal player very, very soon. It's going to be a very busy week at Arsenal because there's a few new contracts as well being discussed. And there's players who, in terms of moving away from Arsenal, it's currently being discussed. Nono Conga, Fabio Vieira, all these guys. It's going to be a very, very busy week in Arsenal. And Andrea Bata is going to be involved in that. And there's other players who didn't, like Declan Rice did not go to Spain. So you're going to hear more about him this week. Noni is going to return back to training. Other players are going to join up with the team in Spain and maybe wait for them in England as well. A lot is going to happen this week, and obviously we have a game on Saturday too, so we are going to have our first game in a long time. It's been 2 months since we saw Arsenal playing, so definitely a lot is happening. Now, that's the latest on Mosquera. This is the bid that we made for Mosquera, but that was back in June 29th, so more than 2 weeks ago already. Arsenal's rejected first bid for Christian Mosquera was 14 million euros. So we made a 14 million euro bid. It was rejected. Valencia went close to 20 million euros. So I'm surprised that I wasn't in a rush for us to get a defender. I was actually like, yeah, we can wait until even later in July or beginning of August to get a backup defender, no problem. And Arsenal felt the same. We felt like we needed to complete the other deals fast, and the Mosquera, despite being only less than 20 million and only being a gap of like 5-6 million, Arsenal aren't in a rush with it, and we're going to go back to finalize that deal now. Since we've now finalized the Gyökeres one and the Madueke one, we are now have a clear path to finalize the Mosquera one, as we also discussed the latest on Eze. Now, I was happy with that defense. After Mosquera joins Arsenal, I'd be happy with that defense. But it's looking likely that one player could also leave. But before that, Arsenal are preparing a new offer to finalize the Mosquera deal as soon as possible. Arsenal will increase the value from the previous offer to secure the deal and allow the player to join the team quickly. And then Kivio. According to reports, Jakub Kiwior could leave Arsenal this summer. Now, I'm not a big fan of that. I'd have loved us to have, Calafiori and Lewis Kelly, Gabriel and Kiwior, Saliba and Mosquera, Ben White and Timber. Now Tomiyasu's left. I love us to have, two players in each position. But they did mention that Arsenal are also trying to get a different fullback as well. So if Kiwior ends up leaving, remember Calafiori is a centre back. Could it be Calafiori coming back to centre back and then Lewis Kelly getting another partner on the left side in case Zinchenko leaves? Zinchenko is still at the club at the moment. Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? You're not sure about that at all. But we could also have more changes there because I personally was expecting us to sign 4 players. I wanted us to sign 5, but now it's already 5 signings after Gyökeres. And then we are waiting for Mosquera, we're waiting for Eze. It could be up to 8 signings, which would be absolutely incredible. That would be, last transfer window was a 0 out of 10, the January one. This time it could be all the way to a 10 out of 10 if we get all of these deals done before preseason. That would be absolutely crazy. Stunning. So let's see how it goes. But Kiwior leaving Arsenal this summer, not a big fan. He showed us already the positions he can play. He can play as a left back. He can play as a left centre back, right centre back, and he's played those positions really well. In the Champions League, he surprised everyone after Gabriel got injured. That was the one position that people were saying, nah, Gabriel injured, we're going to concede 3-4 goals to Real Madrid. It's over. 3-4 goals to PSG. It's over. He never really considered those goals, and Kiwior played really well in those games up against Mbappe and Dembele and players like that. He did an incredible job, and that is a player who the previous season he was playing as a left back because our left backs were injured. The previous season before that, he was filling up for Saliba because Saliba was injured this time on the right side. Kiwior has been incredible. Now, if you do think about selling Kiwior, I do not want to hear about 20 million, 25 million. We've seen the kind of prices all these other players are going for. We've just bought Madueke for 52 million. We are seeing players who've played like 2-3 games going for 30 million. Chelsea are selling Petrovic, the goalkeeper who played half a season for them and then went out on loan. They're selling him for more than 25 million. Carl at Liverpool, I know he plays, but he's not the first choice goalkeeper. They sold him for more than 20 million. That has to be us this time. Kwanzaa from Liverpool, 40 million, a backup defender to Konate and Van Dijk. Kiwior is a player who starts for us, an international player. He starts for us sometimes as well. It has to be, for me, 50 million for Kiwior. I do not care. It has to be 50 million. We're not going to sell him for 20 million. An international player who starts every game for Poland. He's been very good for us in the Premier League. Still very young as well. Nowhere near his prime. 50 million for Kiwior if you want him. For now, if you can be able to raise that for Kiwior, that's fantastic. We've been very poor at selling players in our entire history. So let's hope Andrea Bata can change that for us. We've definitely struggled. Let's see how much we're going to be able to sell players like Zinchenko for. If he gets sold as well, Kiwior, how much money are we going to get for him too? If Martinelli also gets sold, how much money are we going to get for them? I'm looking at that keenly as well. He's done an incredible job in terms of new signings and the new deals, but also in terms of outgoings, and that is where we also need Bata a lot because we've never really been a good team in terms of selling players. So let's see how all that goes. But the breaking news is that Gyökeres agents have arrived in England, London, and they're about to finalize the deal. Here we go very soon. That is big news, man. Like, remember, today is a public holiday for us Arsenal fans. We've waited for this day for a long time. Let's celebrate it as soon as we get that. Here we go. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.